Hello everyone. So we're just going to work on this question here. It was a past exam question for the ordinary level junior cert, and it's an angry bird character. So already we have in this question 80 on the minor axis. Sorry, just the major axis. There we have 80 millimeters, and then 60 on the minor axis. So it's based on an ellipse. That's the way it's done. There's an R60 curve here at the bottom of the ellipse. We have a 60-degree angle up here at the top and a 45-degree angle. And then it says here that draw the given ellipse and show clearly all the constructions. The pupils are your own choosing, so you can choose to make these little circles here, whatever size you like. These other ones are R20, so they touch in the middle here. But I was looking at this question. The tricky parts of this question are this line here, these two lines here. There's no dimensions on them. There's a 15 here, alright. The 15 millimeters come from the bottom of that eye to that. So that's the 15 mil, but these ones here are just kind of, this is a construction line here which touches the bottom of where of the outside of that circle, that cross point there, or that centre line. So it comes from there, bottom of that line restrains it, and it just touches here in the middle. So we get going with this. So with those two circles already done there, so we have a major circle from there to there, and then the minor circle is the inside one. So then we can just divide it up then same as normal with the 30 and 60 degree set square. So do it a bit heavier here so you can see it. We don't need to go this heavy when you are doing it, just leave it a bit lighter. This is only just for, so just you can see what's going on through the camera. That line there can be maybe dotted, just kind of stop and start it. Right. Then as normal, then we come down from the major and come up from the minor to bring our point. So we'll just put the minor on. That's 1 point. We already have a point starting here, so we can start there. Down from the major again. Up from the minor. Another point here on the minor circle. Another point. Another one here, and then we have another one here. Now it doesn't really matter how many segments you break this up into. You know, you could go with another one here if you wanted, say some other angle, but it's just a guide. You know, when you're trying to sketch this along, sometimes it can be hard enough to get between the points. So if it's a very large circle and you're trying to sketch it, you could go with some other angle there if you wanted. You could go with 80 degrees off this line. Instead of 60, you could go 80. You could go with another 80 there. You could go 15 degrees here if you wanted as well. That'll give you an extra point. But in this case, there's no need. So then we'll move it on here. We'll point there. I'm just going around there. Right there. Hold on for a second. Go there. And the point there, that's on the minor circle. Along here. Along here. So you can sketch through this, and just a tip for when you're sketching these, sometimes you're better off just to keep your hand inside the curve when you're doing it. So I'll just start this off here and just show you the strategy for this. Just kind of feather it in like that. Don't put too much pressure on the pencil for the minute. What I'm using here is a 4H pencil. That can be better for you. You know, if you use a 2H to start off with and you make a mistake, it can be harder to rub it out or get rid of it. So I'm just kind of feathering between the points here, and then it can be heavied after. So what I'll do is I'll stop the video for a second and then I'll resume it when I've sketched out. So I'm just resuming the recording now. That's the ellipse. We have it sketched out there. So then the next part of the question, then we have the ellipse. So the next part asks us to put in these two circles. They touch in the middle there, so they touch at point O in the middle there. This is point O, right in the centre. They touch there, so it's, we start out by moving out 20 from the centre to get the centre of our circles. So go 20 with the centre, and then showing that's on the centre there. Yeah, so that's the other 20. So then I set up my compass here to 20. Bring it in. Just using the compass to make sure there's plenty of pressure on that part of it particularly, and less pressure then on the lead part. They don't have to be as heavy as this in the when you're doing it. I'm just doing it heavier so you can see. So then this is our rubber 20 here. And there's two ways there now. So let me look at this again. What we have here is these two construction lines. So we can make these eyebrow shapes here. There's two construction lines coming from the side of the eyes, first of all anyway. And go back to the 4H pencil here again. Just bring up two construction lines, very light, on either side. And then on those lines then, we can come up 30. So 30, and then 10, and that can be heavied in there. It's 10, 20, 30, and then I'm heavying in this piece. Same on the far side. 10, 20, 30, heavying in that part. And if you look closely at this, where from the point at 30 there's a line and it crosses through the centre of that eye there. So it crosses through there, but it's only a construction line, so you have to be very careful there. So just kind of put a light line then from the point that we marked up 30 here, and just a light line to there. start with anyway. And then the other one's the same, or it's the same on the other side, so but it's crossing through the other eye. So that's it there. We can have it in after, I wouldn't worry about that for a second. Now there's a lot of lines here going on, but when we have them in, you'll see it. So then from there, so it's all meeting at a point. So and that's the point there we're talking about. The intersection of the centre line and the lines coming from each edge through these centre points of circles. So it's right there, that's the point we're heading for. So what we can do is put in use the 4H pencil again to put a heavy line in there. So that's the eyebrow, that's one eyebrow on this side. And then the other one on the far side. So the only real trick to that is where there's a construction line and it passes right to the centre there. It's a very light construction line, but that's the bones of it there anyway. So then we go along and we look at these. I was telling you earlier on about this part here being a little bit awkward, so we can start that first. I'll have to put the centre lines on these smaller circles now first too. So just a long line and a dash, long line and a dash. Now there is actually standards for how long the lines are and the dashes, but that's for another day anyway. We think about that on another occasion. By standard I just mean there's a set distance that these are meant to be, but don't worry about that at the minute. So then what we have is from point C then to this point, and from point A to this point. We can go with light lines then. So what I'll do is I'll label them just so that we know what we're dealing with. So point C is here, right there, and point A is here. It's no harm just to label everything because it leaves it easier in the long run. And point D is here. That's point D. Point B is at the top. So then what we can do is we can get a construction line from C passing through that bottom point there, because that's what the cell is under drawn. So we just go to construction line there. Light again. Same the far side. There's an intersection point again there. So that point is that point. What we can do then is heavy in from here to the centre. That gives us the top of the beak. In essence, that's what we have there. Right. So then, that's the upper part of the beak. So the lower part of it is here. So what we can do is measure down 15 from this part, from the bottom of the eye. Down 15. So I'm just starting. Just I'm restricted for space here. Starting at the matter 100. And 15 then. So 10, 15 is there. 10, 15, yeah. So like going across there. It's 15 down. Then what we can do is we already have our centre line there. And now we have a point to work with. That's the point there. So we're down 15. Yeah. And we can work from there to that point. That's to be completed then. Right, so that's it there. The next bit we can work on is this R60 curve here. Now that curve stops on the ellipse on both sides, but it starts on the major circle here at the bottom. So that's point D there, and starting on that point. So if we get our compass, and then we say our 60. There, right. So here, just leave it light. So it's you know, I mean, it's heavy from there to the ellipse and both, yeah, to the point on the ellipse both sides. So I wouldn't put it heavy through the beak. Just put it light first and then retrace again. Then so light first like that, and then put a bit more emphasis on it then. So it will stand out because that's the line you want to actually emphasize there. That's the R60 code finished. Then at the top then, you have to look very closely at this because there's a bit of a trick here as well. I'll show you as we walk through it anyway. The first thing you can do is there's a 60-degree angle here. So we come up 35 and then we'll have a point then. So 35. What I'm going to do is just bring the construction line across there, like line. So that's 35 up then from the edge to the top of the ellipse. There, right? Then there's a 60-degree line. Now that can be done light as well. From here, like line. That's our 60-degree line, and then there's another light line coming over so far from here. So just a light line again, just leave it at that. And what we can do is then get our compass and its radius, whatever length that is. Now the whole thing is, I was looking at this, it's not actually radius 35. You might think it is by this, but just be very careful. Just take this as the radius. It's something less than 35. So just yeah, we'll go from here. Sorry, something greater than 35 it is actually, because it's a slight angle there. Yeah. So just a light arc again, the whole way around. Doesn't matter if it's the whole way around or not. It's just a light outline to gauge it where you're going there. Something you can do is you can heavy then there over to where it hits the arc, because that is what we're dealing with here. And then we can bring the 45-degree line from that point back down to hit the horizontal line here. So 45 degrees, that's where the line there, yeah. And this is where the trick comes in now. Where this line comes, so there's a line that comes up from here, coming upwards, but it passes through this centre line here. Do you see where this point? It's a construction line again, but it hits that 45-degree line is the centre line, and there's also construction lines. There's 3 lines meet at this particular point right there. So on our drawing, we look at it and we say, what are we talking about? So it's this, where the centre line comes up, the 45-degree angle is there, and our line has to meet on those 2 points right there. It's not heavy the whole way either, so we'll just go like for a minute and we'll see then what the story is. Like for a minute. Right. Now, what we have now is an intersection point there. So that's our intersection point in our drawing. And anything after that then is heavy, but it's light in the centre. Right. That's practically it now. What I was using for these eyes here was a very small circle. So rather than trying to set a compass to 2 or 3 millimeters, I just got this rubber protractor here, and I just darken them in here. Try and get as near to the centre as you can, like that, and work away then. And then the other thing that I see here is this piece doesn't exist. There's actually, you know, this, if this was a yellow colour, say here, the colour continues on, so this bit here doesn't exist. And then this other one continues on down. So that's it. Thanks a lot.